Today is an awesome day because what I'm going to do is walk you through the digital business blueprint that I've created for you. This is 20 plus years in the making. Me essentially creating a space where I can talk to you about how to create a simple, sustainable digital product business using the techniques that I have used over these many years to turn your content into consistent cash flow without a big team, a big budget, or a big audience. So let's get started. Welcome, by the way, whether you are catching me live or on the replay side. Hello, hello, and welcome to you. I see you guys coming on in. Hey, Tasha. Hi, Levon. Hey, Afi. Hi, Tracy. I see you guys coming on into the virtual building. Awesome, awesome. Keep on coming in. What I'm going to do is basically talk to you over the course of these 2 days about what it looks like to, number one, build a simple, sustainable digital business. Number two, create profitable digital products fast. Number three, 10-10 win so that you can 10x your success, Sister Sense style, and essentially walk away from this weekend working on creating the perfect digital product. This is my perfect profit project that you can set up and sell this weekend. Crafting your simple, sustainable digital business plan based on what we talk about, okay? And beginning the process of going through the Ready for Revenue challenge that I've created for you. So that kind of paint by numbers style. Every day you have a way to strategically work on your promotion and your sales over a 7-day period. Now, let me say this. I believe that creating a digital business where you sell digital products anywhere, anytime, is just the smartest thing to do, especially when in this kind of economy there are so many things that are making it difficult to maintain or sustain. They're always moving the goalpost. Everyone basically holds your fate in your hand, right? And I think about this quote where it said that you can always get fired from a job, but you can never get fired from your gift. So when you find your gift, you're never out of work. Creating a space where you are recession-proofing yourself. And in any economy, like an alchemist, you can manifest your own money, living in your purpose and helping people the way you want to. To me, that's the perfect business model. I've been able to successfully do this for 20 plus years, literally getting ready for this to be my son's senior year so that he can finally get into college. Yay. And I've been doing this since literally, number one, I quit my job when I was about 6 months pregnant. Then we moved to North Carolina when he was about 6 months old. And I've been doing this thing ever since. So of all the things that I can say to you is it's real and it's possible to not only create a digital business, but to sustain it and in a simple way. So that's the first thing that I want to say. The second thing is essentially that I feel like a lot of people are working on digital products and making money, but they're doing it wrong. All offense, no offense, but they're doing it wrong. Two things I want to scream from the mountaintops. Thing number one, stop creating digital products and start creating offers. Irresistible offers that allow you to increase your revenue. And these are the kind of things that we're going to talk about throughout this weekend, okay? And then for me, number two, not just focusing on the digital products, but creating a digital business plan. Because let's be honest, anybody can create an ebook or a course, but very few people know how to turn ebooks, courses, digital products into a business. And I'm talking about something that's sustainable, where you don't have to work for somebody else and you have something that can grow and scale with you. That is something that very few people have been able to do. So for me, I can kind of pat myself on the back and say, hey, I'm still here 20 plus years in. What did you do, LaShonda? What did you do? And what do you want to do as far as serving these amazing entrepreneurs? And it hit me. What did I do? Well, I created a simple, sustainable business that didn't require me to have a big audience, a big team, or even invest in paid ads. That's number one. And in creating something that was simple and sustainable for me, I learned how to strategically turn low low price point products into high profit in a way where now I can help entrepreneurs. I can help women do the same thing too. I can help you create these low price point products and convert them into high profit sales, scaling to 10K plus and beyond. That is what I learned how to do in a simple way that I now want to share with you. So this is the heart of our agenda. We're really going to lean into the meat and the potatoes, as I like to say, of day one, creating, setting up for sales, the perfect digital product profit project, number one. And then number two, working through your simple, sustainable digital business plan. Okay, so that's the products today, the plan tomorrow, day one and two that I've worked out for you. Now, as we go through this, I'm going to create something that you can comfortably work at your pace and hopefully clearly work through this with me, with the Kaditas, whatever they're called, in the background. I tell you, these last couple of weeks, they have been loud and proud. When I'm sitting on this porch, they are just, woo, all aflutter today, but that's okay. I'm going to elevate as much as possible so you guys can hear me clearly. But, of course, if you have any struggles and I need to kind of navigate away from this space, just let me know. If you get to the point where you're like, LaShonda, I like the nature, but your nature is naturing too much for me today. Okay. So now that you know the agenda, the next thing that I want to do is to make sure that you create a copy of your getting started guide for today, okay? Because they have in there prompts that we're going to be working on, and I want to make sure that you've got your prompts. So does everyone have their agenda? You can find it on the replays and resources page, and you can just copy that Google document, and as soon as you do, just let me know. We're good to go, and I'll lean into our first part of today, which is the perfect profit project, okay? So let's do a quick power pause. Just want to make sure that everybody is settled and has their starter guide Google document open, and then we'll move through the next part of today's presentation, okay? Now, while I'm saying this, friendly reminder, we do have two parts for today, which is going to give you an opportunity to implement quietly in the middle of the day. So we're going to be working until about 11:30, 12 o'clock. Then we'll pause until 2 p.m., reconnect, and then move forward. So when you got access to this training, you should have also got an email that allows you to go to the replays and resources page. Do you have that link? Should be in whatever email or invoice you got for today. And when you go to that page, it'll show you the ability to watch the replays, get the Getting Started guide, and all that stuff. Let me make sure everybody is good before we move forward. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do is walk through the perfect profit project. This is what I call the ABC. Now, it's funny because for many years now, I've been talking about the fact that when we grow up, one of the first things we learn when we go to school is our ABCs. And all these years I've been working with entrepreneurs, they come to me and they go, LaShonda, I want to create digital products. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. So I created my own ABCs, and if you go to my shop, which is what, sistersense.shop, you'll see something called the Digital Product Planner, because there are different A's, B's, and C's. There are even D's and E's and F's and all the things. But there are three that I talk about obsessively, right? And so this is what I call the perfect project, because it allows you to combine three kinds of products into one. Number one, we're going to focus on an audio-based challenge, ABC, that is three offers built in one, in the sense that audio content, number one, that's going to be the heart of it. Number two, the template that I've given to you is a book template, okay? So that you can not only give them audio content, but it's presented in the form of a book. I love books, and I think they're a great way to build businesses. Hold on one second. I got to do a quick power pause. Okay, so our focus, ooh, I need some water. Our focus is today working on an ABC audio-based challenge that is a 3-in-1 audio book challenge offer. So it's got the audio component, it's built into a book template, and you're giving them a challenge so that you have the opportunity to do several things. One of those things is to start with your ability. So you're essentially going to really lean into sharing your skills, your talents, your abilities, your gifts in the form of this challenge, number one. And then number two, the goal here is to create something that's low tech. So my plug and publish template is supposed to help you do that. Once we get to the template, we'll talk about that. The goal is to work on a low tech, simple process over the next 2 days with yours truly, and then deliver this as a digital PDF, so you can sell it as a digital offer. But if you want to, you can actually put the book together and sell it as a print-on-demand book too, which is pretty cool. I'm excited to show you both. My purpose is always to teach you my FAST, FAST method to content creation, so that you can work on fast results that offer your audience a clear transformation and offer you a path to repeatable sales. So that's the perfect profit project for me, because I love to create different types of products. But the fact that you can, in this one product, have something with audio content, built like a book, and offering a challenge too, chef's kiss, okay? So let's lean into what this particular project is going to look like today with the why. Now, first thing, alrighty, so why are we focused on this particular offer? Well, again, because the goal is creating something that is multi-formatted but in one simple product, right? This allows you to create something that your audience can do on a day-by-day basis, so you're giving them daily wins, right? Think this weekend. This is the quick win weekend, and being able to offer your audience an opportunity to see results, work towards a particular transformation in a short period of time, short sprint, short spurts, that's the goal. Multi-touch engagement. Different people learn and work differently. So this is an opportunity for them to be able to have things to listen to, things to read, things to do, all in one. Easy for you to create, easy for them to consume. That, for me, is the secret key to creating minis. Content that is easy for you to create, mini digital products that are easy for them to consume, right? That's the goal. Stand out. You got to figure out how in this economy you're going to stand out from everybody else trying to do what you're trying to do too. And for me, one of the ways in which I do that is by creating experiences, not just digital products, but virtual experiences that are different, that people go, oh, I've never seen it done this way. Okay. And not only do they like interacting with it, but they like being able to continue working with me and gaining these types of content on an ongoing basis. So being able to stand out, again, remember one of the key things I said, stop creating digital products, start creating irresistible offers, start creating virtual experiences so that you're giving your audience higher level quality content and you're separating yourself from everyone else in that crowded digital market that we now exist in, right? And let's face it, the things that worked before don't work anymore. You know, people are used to a certain amount of, or they're used to things that were done before. They're burnt out from some things and they don't want them anymore. And we've got to level up, pivot, and evolve as the digital product, digital marketing landscape evolves too. So this is an opportunity for you to, again, not just focus on creating a product, but creating something that feels like an experience for your audience. Here's the plan. I have created what I call CC. CC is my AI-powered clarity coach, hence CC. And when I say if you can't ask me, ask CC, I mean that I give you a series of prompts that you can give to ChatGPT to gain clarity around what it is you're trying to accomplish. So you're going to be using ChatGPT. Hopefully everyone has ChatGPT, but if not, maybe you have something else. Some people like Gemini or Claude. You can use whatever AI platform of choice you choose to define your concept and your daily flow as far as really getting clear about the challenge you want to create, outlining each of the days that you're going to build with a quick action plan, and then use ChatGPT again so that you can work on your book. Because creating the audio is one thing, building it into a book is another, but this is a quick book, which for me means a book that you can put together in 3 hours to, on average, 3 days. And we're going to be building out the main content, which will be in audio, but then having text to complement that as well, okay? Working on recording your content in 5 to 10 minute audio spurts or audio episodes, then uploading that content. I recommend Dropbox, but of course you can use whatever platform you choose. I also upload oftentimes on Google, but I like uploading audio specifically to Dropbox. If you have a WordPress website or a hosting, you can upload to those platforms as well. And those are some options available to you. And then combining what you've created into the ABC offer template that I've given you so you can plug and publish your finished product, customizing the template too. This is basically just kind of like a high-level overview of the action plan for today. Today we work on your product. Tomorrow we talk about your overarching plan to creating a simple, sustainable digital business, okay? So now, keeping that in mind, we will have a break today. So at 12, we'll pause. So that's going to give you an opportunity to work in this space where you're putting your content together, you're recording your content, and then we're going to come back together at 2 p.m. EST for the customizations with me. I always say first we prep, which is our morning session, and then we tech, which we'll do after 2. So what we're going to lean into now is choosing your audio topic, defining your book's focus, deciding the length, because there are 2 ways you can do this, as a 7-day challenge or a 5-day. So deciding which of those you want to set up and offer to your audience, mapping out the daily goals and the activities clearly so you have an understanding of what you want your people to do each day. Picking simple results-driven transformation essentially means, what's the purpose of this challenge? Like, why are they doing it? What's the result that you're going to help them complete? And then keeping it easy to create and follow, right? Easy for you to create, easy for them to consume, okay? Hey, Dee, I see you in the building. A long time no see. Hey, hi, Inger. I see you guys sneaking on in here. Welcome, welcome. So we're in a good place because right now we're just talking about, number one, the fact that today's goal is to create an ABC audio-based challenge, number one, and this is basically a breakdown of what that's going to look like, number two. So this is your first CCQ prompt, right? Now, those of you who are just coming into the virtual building, I wanted you to make sure that you clicked on the link to go to the replays page for today's training. On that page, there is a getting started guide. You got to copy it, okay? Now, that guide includes 3 prompts that we're going to go through today. 2 now, and then 1 for the prompt number 3 we'll do later this afternoon after 2. Hopefully everyone has those. An alternative for you, if you don't have that document, real simple, you can screenshot this. Literally, and I would say you don't need all of this. If you screenshot just the text itself and say, hey, ChatGPT, can you transcribe this for me? And ChatGPT will transcribe it, and then, okay, then you can use it as a prompt, okay? I'll do it that way. The other way is that ChatGPT does have a little microphone. That's great as well. You can just turn on the mic and literally speak this into ChatGPT, or just kind of copy and paste the prompt from the Getting Started document that I have given to you. So does everyone have that document? Or, like I said, you can just kind of copy, paste, or read out these prompts. Let me know, because what we're going to do is move into actually brainstorming your 7-day challenge now. Are y'all ready? You have it? If you're good, just say good, because what I'm going to do is actually read out this and put it into ChatGPT. Awesome. I love it. I love it. I see all these goods on the screen. Good, 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 good. Love it. Okay. So first, let's just talk about the prompt. Let's just break it all the way down. It says, I want you to act as CC, right? That's my AI-powered clarity coach, y'all. I've been building out CC all this year, and I'm just excited to be able to see and share this particular activity with you all. But it says, I want you to act as CC, my personal content and clarity coach, and guide me through creating a simple 7-day challenge I can turn into short 5 to 10 minute audio series for my audience. Please ask me 9 questions, one at a time, and if I'm not sure of an answer, offer me 3 to 5 examples or suggestions I can pick from so the process keeps moving. Okay? Your goal is to help me uncover a challenge topic I feel excited about, define the specific results or transformation my audience will achieve, and then break it into 7 small daily actions that feel simple, doable, and results-driven. Wait until I have answered all 9 questions before giving me the final insights, beyond offering suggestions when I am stuck, and then provide a clear, mapped-out challenge with daily quick wins, suggested audio titles, and a simple plan for delivery and promotion. Keep everything beginner-friendly, easy to create, and easy for my audience to follow. So you're going to go through a series of questions with ChatGPT if you choose to use that, or another AI platform of choice, so that you can get clear about what you want to put out there. Now, out of curiosity, going into this first activity, does anyone have a challenge idea? It's possible you already have one. Feel free to drop it into the chat, or just say something simple as yes or no if you have a challenge idea. Number one, just out of the gates, maybe you're leaning towards doing something that is 7 days or 5 days. Food for thought. Number 2, maybe you have something that you built and you kind of want to update it, or you were starting something and you want to finish it. So as we're talking about creating a 5 or 7 day challenge, I just kind of want to gauge those of you who are here live, any ideas, anything already in the works that you want to build on. One of my favorite Sister Sense sayings is build on what you've already built, and that's perfectly something that you can do outside of creating something new, okay? So check in, just checking into the chat to see what you guys say to me. And then I'm going to put this particular prompt into ChatGPT. Okay, so Tasha says 5-day wellness challenge. Awesome. It's the free 5-day financial wellness challenge I already have. Okay, good. So this is an opportunity to enhance it if you want to turn it from 5 to 7, or if you want to do a paid version that complements the free version. The idea here is that, yes, you could go off the rails and do something completely random and different if you wanted to, but then you could also lean into this idea of building on what you've already built and then give the next step and say, hey, you know, I have a free 5-day. This is the goal of the 5-day. And then I have a paid thing. I would love to create this challenge to be the bridge between my free offer and my XYZ paid offer at this price point, right? So it could be its own thing or something bigger. Is a 3-day too short? A 3-day is not necessarily too short. However, the way the template that I've designed for you is, it's ideal that you work on either 5 or 7 days for this particular activity, okay? So you definitely know you don't want to do 7, do 5. At the smallest for this one anyway. So great, great, great. Just kind of having you guys check in with me. I'm on my iPad, by the way. So what you're seeing here is my iPad. I'm going to screenshot this so I can put it into ChatGPT. You could copy and paste it, but I want to do the screenshot way so I can show you guys what that would look like, okay? Especially those of you listening on the replay side. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick screenshot, but what I like to do, because I'm on my iPad, is crop it. So I just have this text. Someone did a training recently, and she didn't crop it, and so it was like all the other stuff was in there, kind of threw the prompt off. But then hit done, so I have that, Alexa, like that. Now I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. Okay. And I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to say, now, you see that little microphone? I'm going to click that. You could talk the whole prompt into the mic if you wanted to, but what I'm going to do is attach that photo and just simply say, can you transcribe this image for me, please? Thank you. And then hit. So it's going to be way faster for me to talk rather than type, so that is what I'm going to do. Now that I have this transcribed version, I'm going to go to the next step. You can skip this, by the way, if you just copy it from the Getting Started guide and paste it. You should have 3 prompts, prompt 1, prompt 2, prompt 3. This is prompt 1, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is actually, as quick as I can, go through this so I can show you what it looks like to go through this experience and then give you the opportunity to work on it on your own. That's going to be what you do when we go through the break, okay? I want you to do at least one of these 3 prompts with me. Now, to be honest with you, some of y'all could probably just mute me and do it now because you've seen me do this enough that you're like, I've seen you do this process, LaShonda. I don't need to watch you do it right now. If you want to watch it, great. Otherwise, you can mute me as I'm doing this, and then you could just copy the prompt and jump straight into it, whatever you choose, okay? So let me put that in here and then hit enter. So ChatGPT says, perfect, I'll step into the role as CC. Now, there's so many things I don't know if you do when it comes to using ChatGPT, right? Number 1, using the text to speak using the mic so you don't have to always type, especially those of you who don't like to type. Number 2, using the audio, like ChatGPT can talk back to you. So if I click this, it's going to just read this to me.
Perfect. I'll step into the CC role and guide you through this. We'll go question by question, one at a time. If you get stuck, I'll give you 3 to 5 examples to choose from so you're never spinning wheels. Here's question 1 to get us started. What's one result, habit, or transformation you'd love your audience to achieve in just 7 days? Think small but meaningful, something they can feel proud of quickly. If you're not sure, I can give you 3 to 5 example challenge topics to choose from. Would you like me to offer some starter examples, or do you already have something in mind?
Perfect. So I won't do that for every single one, but just to kind of show you that if you wanted it to kind of talk back to you outside of reading it, it could do that too. But let me jump in. There are a lot of things that I would love to do, but I think for me, I would love to create a bounce back challenge. Bounce back because I feel like, especially this time of year when the summer is summering and people have kids out of school and their schedule has changed, sometimes people feel like they need to bounce back into their business. I also think about people who set New Year goals and, sometimes they fall off. And if they feel like they've fallen off in their business as far as just being proactive, working on profit, or reaching their revenue goals as a solo entrepreneur, going through an intentional bounce back challenge, where after 7 days working with me, they just kind of feel like Red Bull energy, like, okay, I feel like I've accomplished something, I'm back into the swing of things, and I want to move forward. This is something that I did with one of my clients who said to me, I can't remember how she phrased it, but it was basically like, you know what, LaShonda, she was looking at our Clarity Calls document, and she was like, you know what, there were several things I was supposed to do, and it's been several weeks, and I haven't done as much as I wanted to, and I have all these things, and I feel bad, and I don't, what do I do? And so I kind of said, I would love for us to kind of go through what are some small knockout things that you can do and get clear about those things, get a few things off of your list. And once you feel like you've knocked out some things and you feel accomplished, that'll help rejuvenate you to do bigger things, right? So a 7-day bounce back challenge with the goal of asking people, have you fallen off with your business, your productivity, your profit, any of those things? Let's work on getting you back on track. Hopefully that transcribed. You can do up to 10 minutes. I don't want to do 10 minutes because there's a lot we got to cover, but that gave me something. Okay, so when someone finishes this 7-day, what's the one clear result? Something simple and specific for the one clear result. I checked off 7 important small tasks. I created a 30-day plan I can stick to. I rebuilt my confidence by proving I can stay consistent for 7 days. Oh, man, this is good. Can I say all? I want them to be re-energized. If we could maybe split it into 2 parts where the goal is re-energize yourself by completing 3 small tasks and then coming up with a clear action plan moving forward. I think that it's multifaceted, but the goal is one in the sense of let's get back on track doing the things that we need to do and then having a plan we can utilize to move forward. Does that make sense? Yes. What you're describing is a 2-part transformation. Short-term wins, long-term clarity. Of course, I have to be complicated. I have to do something complicated. What specific areas do you want participants to focus on? Wow. Business cleanup, profit boosters, productivity habits. So I want to give them options because maybe that's the Gemini in me, so we can never just have one clear path. LOL. But I would love for them to focus on, I call it PYP, but maybe picking your path. and pick your path. Do you feel like, me personally, I would recommend small wins. Like, as far as productivity is concerned, doing a few things that you can do to get hyper-focused and back on track in your business, like 3 things. But if they wanted to do some cleanup, organization, maybe like 1 or 2 days where they could pick the path of doing business cleanup or profit booster, but maybe definitely 3 days where we're just on short tasks that they can knock out and move them forward in their business. Like, overarching, what are some things that you've been wanting to accomplish in your business? Can we knock out one of those things? So I guess I'm leaning towards productivity habits, and then maybe like 2 wild card days where they could pick a path based on one of these, and then ultimately finish up with a plan to move forward. Now, my brain moves fast. If you find that you don't understand a question, just say it. Don't feel like you have to force yourself. Just free form, which is why I like to do the recordings, because it makes it conversational, literally like you're talking to me. You're talking to your clarity coach, but in the form of ChatGPT, right? Hence, CC. Which type of daily structure do you prefer? Theme-based, mixed daily quick wins, progressive build-up? You said 2 days cleanup, 2 days profit, 2 days productivity. Mixed quick wins. Each day has a cleanup task, a profit task, a productivity. No, I don't want to overwhelm people. I'm like, just one thing for the day. We can focus on, if I were to do it in any way, productivity. Starting off with productivity. I like to keep things in P's. So you tell me if I should start off with productivity first, or a word that would be a good word for cleanup. Maybe presentation, like, organizing things, cleaning up things. So I don't know if that would be the right P word, but either productivity or cleanup first, then doing one or the other in that order, the last one being profit, and then the last day being plan. So it's like 4 Ps, and then we kind of work through those 4 Ps over the course of 7 days, I think. I like things in Ps. Okay. I love that you want to anchor it into 4 Ps. So, productivity, presentation, profit, plan. So I'm not necessarily married to presentation. That was like the first random thing that came to mind. If you could give me other options for presentation, that would be great. But your 4P back on track plan, that would be an interesting pillar. What's one example of a really simple knockout in one sitting action you'd want them to do for each of the 3 Ps? Productivity is always, for me, like the meaning to list. What's something that you were meaning to do? What's something that is like almost finished, and if you just took a few hours, you could knock it out? Maybe people that you could call, emails that you could respond to. My knockout list is like things that you can do in 60 minutes. So, don't overextend yourself coming up with something, but things that you can knock out to kind of feel like you're moving forward. Cleanup could be email, could be maybe you need to create a document. Maybe you need to organize your passwords. Jesus, that's a hard one for a lot of clients, having all their passwords together. Maybe you want to organize images in a folder. So maybe giving them like a short list, like, real short, the goal here is if you want to organize something, pick it, but otherwise here's some possible things that you might want to organize. And as far as profit is concerned, coming up with a revenue goal, do you have a profit goal for this week or this month that you want to work towards? Something simple and attainable for you. So, like I said, you're getting the gist here of what I'm doing, right? So you don't need to keep listening to me because I'm about to wrap up these questions. You could literally, because you have the replays, right? You don't have to sit here and watch me. It's more important for you to gain clarity. Literally, you can mute me. And actually, how many questions do I have? I think I've got 3 more questions to do. You can mute me, put your prompt in. Anybody started the prompt? I have no idea because if you're muted, you can't hear me. So if you haven't started, start it, right? Once I finish, somebody started, awesome. Once I finish, then I'm going to walk you through the other parts of the process for today so that by 12 o'clock, you guys have at least 2 hours to work on these parts, and then we come back into the second part of the process a little bit later, okay? So let's see. So, okay, so you've given me some interesting ones for cleanup. So I think productivity, instead of saying productivity, I would say progress, because a lot of times I teach trainings on productivity, but in the form of your progress and your profit plan. So saying progress would be in line with other trainings I've done, number 1, for productivity. Then number 2, I like polish, but I like purge. So I think I may want to do a P&P polish and purge session where they can decide whether they want to polish, clean up things, or purge things that no longer serve them, and then profit, and then plan. So that, I think, might work. So question number 6. That's my answer to question number 6. What's the tone? That's a great question. I have to stick to a tone. It's going to be hard for me. I like high energy. I like high energy tone. I like what you have here for progress, something that's going to motivate them to complete some simple things, reflective and freeing, definitely for polish and purge. Profit, bold and empowering. Plan, grounded and strategic. I like the tone. Do you see these as different tones each day? I think what you have is fine. It's solid. All right, so we've got some tones. And again, your questions are not going to be my questions. It's really going to kind of move with you, move and flow with you. Let's see. How do you want participants to track their wins each day? I am going to articulate it to them in their audio. But I mean, for me, honestly, the easiest tracker is just, did you do it? Just do the thing I told you to do today. Bam, you're done. And maybe, I don't know, give them some sort of, well, definitely a challenge cue, like a prompt that says, okay, today your challenge is ... Complete it? Yes, success. On to the next day. I'm not really trying to do anything complicated here as far as tracking their wins. But maybe definitely identifying like 5 core goals of the challenge. I'm not rubbing you, okay? You're just going to have to watch me do this training. Prin is harassing me like she chooses to do. looking for rubs. That's not happening. So final question, how do you want to deliver and promote? Audio series, email, or audio plus simple PDF. So the fun thing is I'm going to deliver this in the form of audios that are going to be in a PDF. I just need to work out the audio content and then put it in the PDF. Do you want it to be a free challenge, a low ticket? It's going to be a low ticket challenge to get people into the swing of things, bouncing back, and then they can kind of move forward from there. So our goal is to create something that is either a low ticket or mid ticket offer. We're going to talk about pricing a little bit later, but just kind of keeping that in mind as well. So it says now you've got a mapped out 7-day bounce back challenge with daily quick wins, suggested tones, and a clear delivery promotion. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Okay, so that's the first prompt. I don't know how many of you are doing the prompt now or if you've completed the prompt, but definitely let me know. I'm going to pause just to see if you guys have any questions or need any support. And then you can either unmute yourself or just drop something into the chat. Let me know if you have any questions around that kind of clarity for this 7-day. And then we'll move into the next part of this conversation that I want to share with you. Okay, awesome. So you're going to start it now. Good stuff. So I'll let you guys work on prompt number 1, and then we'll lean into the next part of this process that I want to do with you. So I'm going to do a power pause, not a long one because we only have 60 minutes and I have quite a bit to share, but just enough so that you can begin the process of talking through your idea with ChatGPT. And then in about a few minutes, I want to say about like 2-3 minutes, I'll go into the next part of today's conversation. Hey, LaVon, so let me know what you've mapped out.
So what I did is I went through all the prompts, and I mapped out like the audio for each day, the script for each day. So we came into agreement about what we were going to include on those 7 days. And once I had that, I mapped out my script for each day.
Okay, good. So when you started the process, did you know what challenge you were going to do? Did you get ideas? How did that work for you?
I sort of knew what challenge. Well, what I did was I had taken something that I had already written. It was really one sentence. And I asked, how could we take this one sentence and turn it into a complete 7-day experience for the women? And then
oh, wow.
It led me to the prompts. I think I had about 9-10 prompts I needed to answer before I got the challenge. So it took me through like 10 different questions, 9 to 10 different questions from based upon that one sentence, and that's what led us to the 7 days.
Okay, good. Good. So you're at a solid point at this point.
Yes. So yeah, just going back to do a little cleanup work, like I of the challenge and the outcome, what can be expected, and why. And I even included a part that why it's necessary now, because I know you talked about standing apart from.
Yes.
So why it's necessary now, and what makes it. I asked it what will make this different from other challenges that people are creating.
That's good. That's good. So really just kind of leaning into the conversation wherever it takes you, you starting off with that one sentence. It doesn't necessarily have to be cut and dry, just kind of responding how you think I would respond or how you think ChatGPT expects you to respond, but just really flowing with it. I like that. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, ladies, definitely continue to keep working. And as we go through the process, you can check in with me to share where you are. Now, what I've done actually while you guys were working impromptu, I extended prompt 1 into a 2-part prompt. Now, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and show you real quick. Let's kind of go back to ChatGPT. Okay, so where I left off, it gave me basically a breakdown of what I needed to do as far as my 7-day flow, each audio, tracking wins, delivery, promotion. What I got obviously is going to be different from what you got, right? But then at the very bottom it says, now you've mapped out your 7-day challenge. Would you like to draft your 7 daily prompts plus suggested audio titles? So again, what you get might not exactly be like mine's, but it may be that in the process of working through your questions, you start to draft out your 7-day audio breakdown or 5-day audio breakdown. Because keep in mind, this question, though it's designed for a 7-day challenge, if you want to change it, you can change the text and put 5 instead of 7. Or when it starts the conversation, you can say, hey, I'd like to clarify, can I do 5 instead of 7? Or even you can say, I'd actually like to do 3. Now, again, I prefer you do 5 or 7, 7 being the main one. But if you want to do something smaller, you can, okay? So I'm going to show you another prompt. And this second prompt is a complementary version of prompt A, only if you feel like you want to use it. You could just as easily say, okay, yes, help me map out now my audio titles and my prompts and just continue the conversation from that point. Or you can use this ChatGPT prompts. Now, this one, like I said, I just put it in here to expand the experience for you. So this one is not in your starter guide. I can put it in later, or you can screenshot it now and use it if you want to. The idea of this prompt is giving ChatGPT more details, because where it left off, it basically said to me, yeah, I can give you titles and help you start mapping out the days. But this prompt I'm giving you gives you even more structure to give to ChatGPT, okay? So let's talk about what this one looks like. I want you to continue to act as CC, my personal content and clarity coach, and guide me through designing my daily recordings, welcome and closing from my 7-day challenge. Please ask me a series of flexible questions one at a time to help me shape what each 5 to 10 minute audio should look like, including a daily quick win, tone and energy, and any motivational reminders or ways I might support my participants. Also help me outline a short welcome audio that sets the tone and a wrap-up audio that inspires next steps. If I'm not sure how to answer, offer me 3 to 5 simple examples I can choose from. Wait until I've responded to all your questions before giving me any final mapped out flow. At the end, provide a clear outline with suggested daily titles, talking points, and brief scripts for the welcome and the closing so I can move straight into recording. Keep it beginner-friendly, simple to follow, and easy for my audience to engage. So, number 1, I can do this, and I can just screenshot and crop this part and put that into ChatGPT, right? Or number 2, I can utilize what it gave to me. So it says, do you want to move ahead drafting 7 daily prompts and audio titles? So I'm going to do both of these actually to show you what the difference might look like. And again, your experience is going to be yours because the questions you get, how you respond, it's all personalized to you. Yes, please share 7 daily prompts plus audio titles with me now. Then I'll see what it gives to me, but then I also kind of want to move in the direction of giving it that prompt. So day 1, progress, day 1, progress, day 3, polish and purge, profit, and plan. So it's a very simple outline, which is great, and it's given me some structure here that I could build on, but I would love to see what it looks like now using the prompt that I just gave to you all, 1B. So I'm going to put that one in there and say, great. I actually want to switch gears just ever so slightly. Is it possible for you to transcribe this image for me? So first I'll have it transcribe the image. And now I'll say something like this. Okay, great. I like what you gave me, but I think I want to give you some more input and kind of work through how to make this even more detailed. So I want to give you a prompt so that we can work on another more detailed version of what you gave me. Can we do that now? Mind you, I didn't give it the prompt. I just am like, hey, I'm going to go in a different direction now. And it's like, yes. So it says, do you want to start with daily recordings? I'm just going to give it the prompt. And then start this new series of questions. Okay, so now I'm going to go through answering these questions. I'm going to do that separate so that I don't take away time from what we're doing here, okay? But I did want to give you that prompt as an option. And you guys can let me know if you're just going to keep going forward or if you're going to utilize that prompt. Like I said, if you are, you would need to screenshot it from what is currently in the slide presentation, and I'll just kind of pause here for anyone who wants to grab it. And then I will put it in the Getting Started guide at some point for you later, okay? Now, I'm going to pause on this so you can grab it if you need it, and then I'm going to go into the next prompt for you. Because between these two prompts, you'll be able to go into our 2-hour break from 12 to 2 p.m. to kind of work on your audio, work on your content, and then we come back together, okay? Prompt number 2 that I've created for you, okay? So here's prompt number 2. I want you to continue to act as CC, my personal content and clarity coach. Help me write the key pages of my 7-day challenge. The challenge topic, the daily actions. Please ask me 7 questions, and if I'm not sure, offer me 3 to 5 suggestions. Ask me about the tone and the promise of my welcome, the single transformation to highlight, the encouragement style for the daily blurbs. Let's see here. Any phrases or frameworks I want to include, my preferred length of the closing next steps page, and the essentials for my author bio. Wait until I confirm all answers before drafting the copy, beyond offering suggestions when I'm stuck. The welcome is about 200 to 250 words for 1 to 2 pages. Each daily blurb is about 75 to 100 words. The next steps, 150 to 200 words. The author bio, 80 to 100 words. Keep everything beginner-friendly, concise, warm, and ready to copy and paste into the template. So let's talk about this prompt, okay? Easiest way to do that is me literally taking you into the template. Um, More than likely you have not looked at the template yet, and that's totally fine because you don't need to. But let's go into the template. Okay. Now, it's got two covers. This is the main cover that I've given you all, but then I had the absolute pleasure of working on a book project with Levon last month, a couple of weeks ago, and the cover was so nice, I decided to modify one of the covers because she used a template cover, and then I kind of went in and tweaked the cover slightly and added this colorful border. I said, let's make it a standard for you all. If you wanted to use that. So there are two versions to choose from. You also will notice, those of you who have access to all my templates, which is separate depending upon what program you're in, you may have access to the full, I don't know how many, 30 book cover templates that I have as part of the book project, 12 books in 12 months project, those of you who are in the insider circle. So either use any of those, come up with your own, or utilize the two that I've given to you. You got options. This is the book template, and it's 12 chapters, okay? Chapters are already defined for you, and you have the opportunity to introduce in Chapter 1 what your challenge is about. And then if you want to have a goals section, like breaking down, here's the purpose, here are the things that I want you to accomplish with this challenge, that section is here for you. Then here is the beauty of it all. Being able to have a simple page where you can give them links to click and listen to each audio. You would upload your recordings to Dropbox, Google Drive, your website, WordPress, wherever you want, and then you would link here. So every time when they download your PDF, every time they click one of these play buttons, or maybe every time they click one of these titles, they could listen to the audio. Don't worry about tech if you don't quite understand, because when we come back later, I'll show you what this looks like. But there are two pages. This page is basically a 7-day challenge with a welcome and closing. This version is a 5-day challenge with a few more intro and outro sections, but it's pretty simple. So you could do a 5-day or a 7-day. Now, if you wanted to do a 3-day, that's okay, but you'd have to adjust this template accordingly. Otherwise, you could use my audiobook template, which has different numbers in it, but this one is designed mainly for the 1-day, the 5-day and the 7-day, okay? The other option is, let's say you want to print this thing. Obviously, you can't give them this page because you cannot click paper. So what you could do instead is give them a QR code, and that is something you can create inside of inside of Canva. You can create a QR code. Okay. So I'm looking at Prin, and I'm trying to figure out why is she climbing on the couch. She sees her toy, and she's trying to get her toy. 1 second. That's probably why she's been harassing me all this time. You know, when you have that mommy mode, you're like constantly trying to figure out what your children are doing. And so I'm like, what is she barking at? What is she staring at? She's looking at the toy. So anyway, if you use this page in the physical version, you could basically create a page where you give them a QR code, and they could download the PDF version with clickable links outside of reading this version, right? That's optional. But just to kind of combat the fact that obviously if you wanted to print this in the form of a book, they couldn't click pages to be able to listen to audio, and we want to work around QR codes is relatively easy for that. And we'll talk about QR codes and putting in links when we come back later on. So, right. So then we start the chapters. In the chapters, you have these pages where you can either have a page where you have more detail about what you're trying to share with them. You can have detail combined with them being able to click and listen. So either a page where all of the audio is on one page, Or for convenience, every single chapter has one audio and you just click the button. You can even put the timestamps in here or just leave them the way they are. There are pages for you to extend. You don't have to write a ton of content. You do not. But turning this into a book means you do need some text. So this is what we call a medium content book, right? Now, you could have pages like this where you give them a prompt at the top and they have space to write at the bottom. Or here's another version of that where there's the prompt in the middle and, again, space to write at the bottom. It's kind of up to you. Now, each chapter is defined, or rather designed, same way, okay? So let's go into grid mode so I can show you that. This is basically 7 chapters. If you want 5, you delete the ones that you don't want. If you want all 7, great. If you want to just do 3, delete the ones you don't want. So you could do 3, but 7 or 5 is what I suggest. And then you come to chapter 10, which is your next steps chapter. This is where you're closing up your book. You're like, awesome, you've completed everything. Chapter 10, chapter 11, meet the author. This is where you introduce yourself, talk a little bit about you, how they can stay connected with you. Chapter 12, notes to self. I have put in here lined pages so that you can offer them 2, 4, 6, 20, 30. Really, it's up to you. But keep in mind, when you print, your cost of your book, the cost of printing your book depends on page count. At this point, you have roughly 72 pages here using this structure. So your book could honestly be anywhere between 60 on the low end, 60 to maybe 120 pages. And then you could upload it to my personal favorites, MagCloud, Lulu, or even Amazon if you wanted to. I always recommend when you are putting your pages together, put them in increments of 2 so that you have an even number of pages. Increments of 4, even better. And essentially, if you wanted to fill or add extra pages, these help. Each chapter does have an optional quote section, but here's the deal. Once I come up with a format, I try to just stick to that format so all the chapters, the number of pages, the kind of pages I use per chapter is consistent. Consistency is key for me when it comes to using my FAST method, which again is FAST, Formulas, Automation, Systems, Templates, okay? So these are some things I want you to think about. And the second prompt, essentially, let's go back here. Wait, where am I? You're thirsty. That's what you I got you. You're thirsty. I got it. You're barking at me. You're flipping bowls. You're looking for water. I'm going to give you guys this. Can I tell them this last thing? Can you give me 5 seconds? You're looking at me like, no. Give me a second. 1 second, mamita. Let's see. I can't find it this way. Let me. Hold. I know. Please don't flip that bowl one more time. Now you're just being mean. Now you're just being mean and surly. I got it. You're thirsty. Give me a second. Okay. So that's basically the purpose of this prompt. Power pause, keep working. Let me give Prince some water. I gave her her toy. That wasn't enough. And then I'll be right back. Alrighty. So now that Prin has her pepperoni and water, she'll be settled until 5 minutes. She's going to start barking upstairs for me to go get her. The idea with this prompt, though, is the text content. Prompt number 2, which you do have access to in your Getting Started guide, is now that you've got your audio structure, let's start creating some content text-wise so that you know what your bio is going to look like, you know what your welcome is going to look like, you know what text you want to tell them or offer them in each section of your book. And I wanted to give you the template, not because I want you to go into it and work on it, because I don't, but I want you to start building out that content. And you don't necessarily have to do the heavy lifting of doing the work beyond just simply telling ChatGPT what you want. when you use this prompt, it's already defined by the sections to know how many characters, how many words are ideal per section, so that ultimately it's going to give you something that you can copy and paste into the template once we're ready for that part of the process, okay? So the two main prompts are going to help you figure out what you want your challenge to be, and then text-wise have that content to be able to put into your template. And the new prompt that I've given to you is if you want to go even further into getting guidance and assistance from ChatGPT to break down each of your audios and what you actually going to say in those audios so you can hit record, okay? Now, we've got about 20 more minutes before I'm going to pause, so I might take that time to complete the 9 questions and show you what that looks like on my end. But before I do, I want to take the opportunity to just kind of give you the prep process, because this is what you're going to be working on for the next couple of hours. Number 1, the plug and publish prep. Basically creating a Google Doc or using the Getting Started guide if you want to just use it and put everything in that one document, that's fine, where you have the text and the audio notes breakdown that you get from ChatGPT. So you have one place that basically has all the content. So when you're ready to start working in the template with me, you can just copy and paste. Some of you are newbies, so you may want to wait for my guidance to customize the template, and that's totally okay. Some of my OGs, y'all already know the way. So whenever you're ready, you can grab your text and start putting it into the template because you know what to do, okay? It's up to you. But the idea is that you're going to use that outline so it's easy for you to sit and record the content using any device that you want. I'm going to keep it simple and tell you the following. I have an iPhone. I use something called the MP3 Recorder app on my iPhone. If I were to just kind of pause from the presentation real quick and go to MP3 so I can show it to you, MP3. See that one right there, the MP3 recorder? That's what the icon looks like. So those of you who are, iOS, iPhone users, if you want to look for it, I'm on my iPad right now. Okay, that's the MP3 Recorder app is what I use, and I've been using it for years. I paid, I don't know, $6 or whatever for the upgraded version versus the free one. You can use whatever application you choose to record your content. Some of you have Zoom. Many people have Zoom. You could literally go into Zoom and record audio. Some of my clients like to record their audio in Canva. You can, if you have an Android, you can use whatever platform floats your boat, basically. But I would say outside of my MP3 Recorder app or using something like Zoom, it's up to you what particular platform you want to record your audios on, okay? Outside of having that Google document that has all your, a breakdown, an outline of your challenge, an outline of each day by day of the audio flow, hit record, right? Like I said, those of you who have the skills and want to jump into the template, you can use it. Otherwise, you don't have to. You can wait until we come back at 2 to work in the template. That's up to you. If you have ConvertKit, does everyone have ConvertKit? Because that's what I sell on, okay? So I will be teaching you how to not only create this thing, but sell it on the ConvertKit platform. If you don't have ConvertKit, it used to be called ConvertKit, now it's called Kit. If you do not have Kit and you want to sign up through me, you can try it out by going to sistasense.com/ConvertKit if you want to try it out through me. Otherwise, if you do have it, that's the platform we're using. Otherwise, if you don't want to even look at ConvertKit, whatever platform you're using to sell your product, you can put the product on that platform. If you are using Stan, if you are using Gumroad, PayHip, whatever you're using, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm not trying to tell you to use what I use. However, with Kit, it's an all-in-one solution, kind of like what we're doing, an all-in-one offer, because you can use it to build your email list. You can use it to sell products. it's multifaceted, right? Create subscription offers, create a newsletter. There's a lot of things you can do on the platform. So, and it's user-friendly. It's low-tech user-friendly, in my opinion, as far as helping clients learn how to navigate it on their own when I'm not helping them directly putting things together, right? If you have Kit, you want to make sure that you go to the Earn tab and you set up Stripe so that if people are going to pay you for your offer, you can get paid for your offer and your Kit is put together. A couple of my clients, we worked on getting their Stripe connected and up and running on ConvertKit recently. So those of you who are new to the platform and you kind of want to make sure that you are jumping in, right, and you're ready to go, these are the kind of things that you can do when it comes to the prep process through between, 12 and 2 o'clock when we're taking a pause, okay? So that's plug and prep, basically, and essentially when we come back, we will be working on customizing in Canva, number 1, picking your price, and then customizing in Kit number 2, because I have another prompt in here to share with you. But that's just kind of like a little insider look into when we come back within the next 2 hours. So I'm going to continue working on the prompts because literally I think we have about 15 minutes before 12 o'clock. However, I have no problem pausing to see if anybody needs support from me. So is everyone good at this point? If you have questions and want to unmute yourself or just kind of share what you're doing, awesome. Other than that, I'll continue to show me gaining clarity on my offer inside of ChatGPT, and then we'll be good to go for you to take your 2-hour break, work on your content, and we come back at 2. So are y'all good? Thoughts, questions, comments, progress, all the things? Checking in. I love this. I love that you love it. I'm so glad that you get to hang out with us today, Tracy. I see you're still working on it, Tasha. Out of curiosity, are you building from the financial challenge that you did, or are you creating a new one, going in a totally different direction? Lots of options. My goal is that you all are able to really have something substantially done today, if not completed today, without the high-tech headache of trying to figure out all the parts. I'm building on the challenge I did. Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. So anything else, feel free to either unmute, check in with me. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and go through these questions. If you want to mute me so that you feel like you're quiet and you're clear, great. Or if you want to fall off, because, again, in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I will be wrapping this up. I'll make sure to get the replay up to you guys as soon as possible so you can watch it. But I'll be wrapping up for our 2-hour break. All right, let's see my questions from ChatGPT. When someone presses play, what's the first feeling or energy? Excited. Excited. I'm always excited. Maybe that's because as Americans, our first word is, I'm so excited. But high energy, excited, definitely supportive. That's the vibe that I want for my welcome audio. Love it. What's the main promise you want to make in the welcome audio? My main promise is someone just said I'm the tech challenged one. Oh, wait. Let's stop that. I realized I was transcribing. Okay. Let's see. My main challenge is to be able to go from fall off to focus forward, right? The whole idea of bouncing back is for, if you felt like you have fallen off in some way, is for you to get back into the swing of things. My promise is I want to help you find your focus and your fire. And these are things that I actually have a plan called the Focus Forward 5-day program. And I have a whole series called Fire and Focus, right? So I guess my promise is if you feel like you've fallen off and your fire has fizzled, my goal is to help you get focused and fired up over the course of 7 days so you feel like you're clear and you're back on track. So there we go. That's powerful, totally on brand. Question number 3. What do I want to include in my welcome? Short. I mean, really just kind of mapping out what we're doing, the 4 Ps, and that's it. These are short 4 to 5 minute audios. I'm not trying to belabor things. Just kind of move forward. I may even want to say one of my favorite Sister Sense sayings is your fresh start starts now. Like, people can feel really bad when they fall off. Like, you know, there's so many things I need to do. So much time has been wasted. So much time has gone. And it's like, you can't go back, you know. Feel good about the fact that your fresh start starts now and you can get fired up and you can move forward. I just saw somebody say, yep. It's real. The feeling is real, right? All right. So for each daily recording, do you want a consistent 3-part structure? Motivate, explain, challenge, cue. Yep. I think that's good to go. I'm not even going to mess with it. That's a great structure. When people get to day 7 and wrap up, what do you want their main takeaway and next steps to be? I love Celebrate Energy, right? I love Celebrate Energy, and I love people to feel like they haven't failed. One of my favorite quotes is, the only way to fail is to quit. So long as you're willing to get back in the game, stay in the game, you have not failed. And the fact that you've completed even a few things in the last 7 days, this is winning. I love the quote, it's never win or lose, it's always win or learn, right? Learn from whatever season you are in that caused you to fall off. Take this opportunity to win, get inspired, and move forward to get back on track. And then as far as the next steps are concerned from the bounce back experience, bounce back in building. Right now I have what I'm literally doing this weekend, the Simple Sustainable Digital Product Business Blueprint. And if they're ready to not just bounce back but move forward, this would be the solid path of taking this quick win weekend. I'm doing it live right now, but once it's live, it'll be available on demand. Going through the quick win weekend over 2 days, really bouncing back, creating an ABC digital product, and also working on creating a simple, sustainable digital product business plan over a 2-day period. So that would be the next step for me. Just kind of getting their head right and their mind right now that you've got that bounce back energy going into this, either as a 2-day. There's 2 options, doing it as a 2-day or a 12-week accelerator. And either way is on one page, so they get those 2 options on one page. That would be the next step. So this is a good segue, I think, for me to kind of lean into that next thing. So wrap up. There we go. Okay, so it says, here's the tone of your wrap up, key points, commit forward, transition. At this point, you've got your welcome, you've got your daily parts, and you've got your wrap up. would you like me to now map out each of the 7 days, titles plus key talking points, plus sample scripts? Yeah. Yes, please. And if I need to clarify anything to make that happen, just let me know. So my fur baby is now quiet because she's in the entertainment room, and my big baby is driving now. So he went to one of his friends' parties, and his friend lives an hour away. So he just got there this morning. When I had to do a power pause, he was leaving the driveway, and then I heard something screech like my car, aka our car now. Till I buy him a car. My car is our car. He slightly went too close to his dad's car, and I was like, oh my God. So I had to power pause with you guys to check in on him. Now he's at the party, and so now that I have a driver on my hands, my heart is always like in my mouth, in my throat. Oh, pray for me with a teenage driver. Okay. So it is like perfect. I'll keep guiding you through, and then we're going to go through all the things. Awesome. So I got some more work to do to kind of go through this with ChatGPT, and then I can hit record and knock some things out and then check in with you guys later. So we'll be back here at 2 p.m., but before I wrap up, before we go, please let me know if you have any clarity questions for me. Just want to give you guys an opportunity to process, think, or run errands and be whoever you need to be for 2 hours before we come back at 2 p.m. That's going to be another, I would say another 2-3 hour session, maybe 3 hours, because we tend to do quite a bit of techie stuff. Can you put the checklist back? Oh, yeah. This is just basically what we're going to focus on knocking out today, right? And then I might be willing to do like an evening session at about 6 or 7 p.m. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. Whether you say yes now or you send me an email, or you just kind of wait for part 2. So it's technically 2 parts on the books for each day, but if I need to do a follow-up evening session, I'm down, just so that we have this opportunity to build together, because I think we build better together, which is one of my themes for this year. We build better together. 11:59. I'm so glad that I am still on time in spite of a few little hiccups this morning. A few random power pauses. I'm pretty much on point, and we're not going like 40 minutes over. But you guys seem like you're good to go, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining this first part of day number 1. We're going to move into second part coming up next. After we're done with these 2 days, friendly reminder, if you are interested, we do have the full 12-week experience so that we can really work on not just creating one digital product, but a whole offer suite of offers that you build anywhere between $10 to $1,000 digital products and virtual experiences. That's what we're doing in the 12-part accelerator, which starts next week. And then outside of that, I do have an in-person event here in North Carolina coming up in October. So those of you who are in the program, if you know you're coming out, let me know. If you're not in the program and you are interested in coming out, you can let me know about that as well. All right, y'all, it's 12 o'clock. Mwah. I'll see you in 2 hours. Till then, go forth and continue creating your amazing Bye.